Shalom, everybody. It was good to see y'all online last week, and I think we're going to do that again today, this afternoon. Today's Monday, so this afternoon at 1 o'clock, we'll do that again. But I wanted to start this class. Well, this is what we're going to do today. We're going to have a short prayer. Then I'm going to read your work. So all of you that have turned in your final draft and final and polished draft, I will read it, and you will get to guess whose work I'm reading. Then after that, we're going to do a little bit of review, and then I'm going to introduce the new topic or the new lesson. And so that's what I have planned for today's lesson. We're going to get started. I'm going to try to make this video a little shorter than last week. So let's start with prayer first, okay? Heavenly Father, we thank you for the good blessings that you give us. Help us to be grateful. Help us to be thankful to you and to acknowledge you and that you are the source of all good things and all the blessings that you give us. Lord, I pray over each of my students that you give them peace, perfect shalom. Give them peace during this time, strengthen them, their emotions and their mind. Give them good health and protect them and their families. Help them to enjoy this time together and to see all the good and the positive of each day. We thank you for all the opportunities and the flexibility that we have as homeschoolers. We thank you for that. It's a blessing. And we ask that you be with us today. Help us to learn and to apply what we have learned. In the precious name of your Son, Yeshua, Amen. Okay, so let's get started with the lesson. Well, actually, I'm going to be reading your work. Last week, you were to work on your rough draft and fix it up and make it really nice. And I think most of you have turned it in. I just checked my email a little bit ago, and as of this, the recording for this class or this lesson, I have printed off everybody's that has sent them in. So if I don't read it, if I don't read yours, it's because I didn't get it before I recorded this lesson Sunday night. Okay? Alrighty then. The first one I'm going to read, you're going to guess whose it is. All right. And we'll go right into it, and then I'll give you a little bit of maybe some things that you can improve or watch out for. Okay? Alrighty. The first one, entitled Think Right. There was once a lady named Mimi who was happily journeying with an elephant. Mimi was kind, gentle, and gorgeous. She was traveling the desert for weeks, but she was energetic and happy because she had an umbrella blocking out all the sun and keeping her cool. The elephant, on the other hand, was tired and sad. And just then, Mimi, the traveling lady, noticed that the elephant was sad. A while later, Mimi noticed a scrawny rat hiding in a sand dune. He was a beautiful brown, and his fur looked soft. The brown rat, who scampered joyously, liked the desert. He looked happy free because he was happy free. The hiding rat was free, unlike the elephant. Mimi thought she would set the elephant free because she cared for the elephant. Mimi, who liked animals, carefully climbed down the elephant that looked like a tower. She slowly unhooked the saddle. Mimi took a deep breath and said, "You're free," as the huge and happy elephant ran away from Mimi. He thought, "Finally, I'm away from this loser." Mimi thought right to set the elephant free. So who do you think that was? Can you guess? Can you guess? I bet you have a good idea. If you guessed Eliana, you were right. That was Eliana's work. Eliana, you did very good on your work. I noticed some strong verbs throughout your 3 paragraphs. Good use of your who, which clauses, and some vocabulary words. I saw you throw in some good vocabulary, some new ones, and some previously used vocabulary words. Some of the new ones I think was journeying. I think the vocabulary was journey. The word was journey, and you used it as journeying. That's a good thing. And you used some previous vocabulary like scrawny. So those are good words, good use of your who, which clause. And the only thing I think I would suggest for you is double check as you read through and double check for capitalization and quotation marks. But pretty much it's well written, and I really like the story. Very entertaining. Okay, the next one, well, I'm gonna save that one for last. Okay, the next one is called The Runaway Elephant. Okay, let's see if you can guess whose this is. A nice day to ride an elephant. One strange day, a lady just lost a tooth and decided to lose another tooth while riding an elephant. She was waving a breathtaking, bulky, beautiful plumage of feathers in her face, thinking she might knock out a tooth with it. The elephant had sharp tusks and was quietly walking, but stopped. It was one nice day to go riding. The talking mouse. It was a talking mouse. The mouse, who squeaked helplessly, "Dear delicious lady, moo-ha-ha-ha-ha. Oh, sorry," she continued. "May I please have a ride?" All the lady could hear was squeak, squeak, moo-ha-ha-ha, squeak. And she answered, yeah? No, said the elephant, and jumped like a spring. Runaway elephant. Ah, do a voice crack. I'm not sure what she screamed as the elephant jumped 14 feet in the air. She did a backflip and landed on her face. The elephant ran away because of the mouse. The lady watched in despair as the elephant ran, and she had to walk home. Instead of losing one tooth, she lost 28 teeth. It is nice to ride elephants, but they are runaway pets. Okay, whose do you think that was? Any guesses? That was good writing, and that was, if you guessed, it was Gabriel's work. That's right. Now, Gabriel, I need to apologize to you because last week I didn't read your or mention your rough draft because you did send it in on time, but I didn't print it out, and I apologize. I didn't print it out in time for the video I made last week, so I apologize. This time I did. So Gabriel, good writing as always. I noticed your alliteration and vocabulary words. Good job with that. One thing I will mention or suggest to you is that in a little bit when we go over the rules for writing from pictures, pay special attention because I think that you are giving each paragraph like a little title, like a title for itself, rather than making the first sentence talk about the central fact of the picture. So we're gonna go over the rules in a little bit, but other than that, good use of your who, which clause, and your adjectives were really nice, and adverbs. So good job on that. Okay, let's go with the next one. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody here. Okay, the next one. Let's see if you can guess who this is. This one is titled The Big and the Small. See if you can guess. There was once a highly royal princess who desired to get fresh air, so she decided to ride her huge elephant through the grassy fields. She was very royal, and the impressive elephant had two fancy carpets lying on it because she needed comfort. She was sitting royally on her chair. The grass, which they walked on, was green. The princess rode on top of her elephant. There was also a pint-sized mouse crawling around sneakily. The mouse, which was cute, was creeping through the grass. I think part of it got cut off. He could noticeably have been looking for food because he was hungry. He journeyed nearby the elephant's location. The mouse was highly curious. The mouse continued creeping, crawling, and sneaking in the grass. Back to the princess. Wait, what? Her elephant spotted the mouse. That's awfully bad news. The elephant, which was huge, became horrified, threw the princess off his back, and she tumbled to the ground. When she glanced up from the ground, the elephant was already far, far away. The princess looked surprised because she had not seen the mouse. The elephant had run far away. A tiny mouse and a colossal elephant. No matter how big you are, something smaller can scare you. That is really good writing. Can y'all guess who that was? Who's the author of that one? Can you guess? If you said Paul, you're right. Paul, you did really good on that one. Your stories are always so entertaining. I like that. You really impressed me with your vocabulary and your because and your who, which clauses are very well used. I caught your alliteration, by the way. The mouse continued creeping, crawling, and sneaking in the grass. That was nice. One thing I wanted to, let me see. Nope, I think you got it. I also noticed that you did a great job of making your clincher repeat or reflect 2 or 3 of the keywords from the central fact of the paragraph of the picture. So great job with that. Okay, Paul, good. The next one, let's see if y'all can guess who this is. There's just a few left, so you know, you don't have a lot of choices, but let's see if you can guess this one. This one's called The Teeny Tiny Teacher. That right there is a good alliteration, but let's go on. The Teeny Tiny Teacher. Once there was an elegant, extravagant, and rather spoiled princess named Kate, who wandered around all day on a huge gray elephant. Riding on red rugs, she fanned herself happily wherever she went. She never thought of anyone else because her life had always been so easy. She thought slyly to herself, nothing could ever happen to me. I have the most enormous animal in all the land. Little did she know, just around the corner was an itty-bitty, minuscule mouse. Now, this particular mouse had caused extremely impressive destruction wherever he went. The mouse's name was Chaos because he sure caused a lot of it. Chaos, who was light brown, blended in with the tall grass as he crept up courageously. As Kate rounded the corner, out popped Chaos. Shrieking, the enormous elephant bucked Kate swiftly to the ground and fled away, never to be seen again. Well, I feel as silly as a goose, said Kate, because she was no longer so smug. She crouched down to Chaos and announced, You, who are so teeny tiny, just taught me a huge lesson. That was very well written. Who do you think wrote that one? Any guesses? Oh, if you guessed it was Lydia, you're right. Lydia, you did a great job with that. I really liked how entertaining your story was. Very entertaining. I really like your use of your adjectives. Quality adjectives are good. Minuscule mouse, impressive destruction. That's your adjectives are really, really good. I caught your alliteration. That was really nice. Writing on red rugs. That flowed really well from my mouth. That rolled off my tongue nicely. And I like what you did with your final clincher and your title, the teeny tiny teacher, and you who are so teeny tiny just taught me a huge lesson. So I like the way you played with those words. Good job overall. And I will say this, I was surprised that your paragraphs were not extremely long. They met all the requirements. You did a good job. You met all the requirements for your checklist. Good job. And you told your story very well. It wasn't extremely long, but that's okay. It was just short enough to get the point across and keep things interesting. So I like that. Okay, the last one, I will say who this is because I'm not going to read it. Ben, I did get your homework. I did get it. I did read it. I'm not going to read it, and I'll send you an email about it to your parents. But I'm going to ask you to redo this one, and I'll explain it in the email, okay? But I did get it, so I didn't want anyone to think that I didn't receive yours, Ben. You turned it in, and I appreciate you turning it in on time. I'm just not going to read it on the video to the class. So, okay, so I think everybody overall did a great job. I will say this, Ben. I'm not going to read it, but I will say this. I did enjoy, you had some good vocabulary words that you used, some from the past and some of the new ones, like journeying. And let's see, I noticed impressive. That's another new one that we introduced recently. And something that we haven't, a good quality adjective that you used was furtive. With a furtive glance over his shoulder. That was a pretty good use of quality adjective. I did like that. So you had some good points on yours as well. So, okay, so we've gone over the students' work. I want to review the rules for writing from pictures. So if you'll bear with me, I'm going to put up on the screen. Let's see here. Here's the process that we use for writing from pictures. Okay, so I'm going to show this to you on the screen. Everyone can see this. All right. And I've got my little red hot spot, little red, what do you call it? Like a laser pointer on the screen. So follow along, okay? When we write from pictures, this is the process that we follow, okay? And it might help you if you think of this unit as event description or a report on pictures. So if you think of it that way, it might help you to understand the process or remember the process. Telling a story is great. You can think of it that way as well. But the number one thing, the first thing you need to remember is you must identify the central fact of the first picture, okay, or of the picture. So I'm gonna, the central fact of the picture. This is really, really important. If, and this is gonna have to be, the central fact is going to be what we would normally call the topic. We're calling the central fact. Okay, that's the central fact of the picture. So that's going to be your Roman numeral 1. So I think it was Gabriel. You kind of gave each paragraph its own, like a mini title. We're not trying to do that, but the central fact, this will be the first sentence of the paragraph. So it must be a full sentence, not just a title, but it must reflect what's in the picture. Okay, the first sentence of the paragraph must be the central fact of the first picture. Okay, you write that down. So you can write that as your keyword outline for Roman numeral 1, right? Roman numeral 1, and write out your keywords for the central fact. Then ask yourself the questions to come up with details. Now remember, we talked about who, what, when, where, why, and how. Ask these questions. Who is in the picture? Who's in the story? What happened just before this? What happened after? Where is this happening? Why is this happening? Okay. What happened before? What happens after? What's happening outside of the picture? Like what we don't see. Okay, that's where the details come in. You can fill in the details starting with these sentences, right? The sentences 1 through 4 after the central fact. And we call it 1 through 4, but it's actually, number 1 is actually the second sentence of the paragraph. Number 2 is actually the third sentence of the paragraph, because our first sentence is this Roman numeral 1. Right? Kind of like we've written before. We write the Roman numeral 1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever. Same thing. So don't let that confuse you. But ask yourself questions to come up with details to fill in the story. Okay? Then remember, the word clincher reminds you to follow the topic clincher rule, right? This topic clincher rule. You don't write the word clincher, which I think the only one who did that last week, you fixed it this week, that's great. So the clincher is just to remind you to follow the topic clincher rule. Then you really should test your outline. And how do you test your outline? By telling back the story from your keyword outline. So using only your keyword outline, see if you can tell back the story, including the details, from just that, without looking at the pictures, just looking at your keyword outline. Then, if you can do it well, then you know that your outline is a good one. If you have trouble, you can't remember what that meant, what the keywords meant, or what you were thinking, or what details you wanted to fill in there, then you should probably go back and rewrite that part of your keyword outline, okay? And that's an important step. I don't want you to skip that. Sometimes we just need to rewrite our keyword outline or part of it, and that's okay. Okay, every good writer takes their outline and makes adjustments. Okay, that's good. Then keep going and write your story. After you've done that for the first picture, your first paragraph, then you're going to repeat that for the remaining pictures, okay? So we're gonna have 3 pictures, so that means how many paragraphs? Can you remember? 3 paragraphs, so 1 paragraph per picture. And it's okay if you break up your writing with some conversation, some dialogue or quotation marks, you know, that's okay. I think, Ben, you did that, and that's good. And that makes it look longer than 3 paragraphs, but just remember where your paragraphs are. Each paragraph will start with the central fact from the first picture, from each picture. Then you'll fill in with the details from each picture, and then the clincher, okay? So each paragraph will have all of those, a central fact, your details, and then the clincher, okay? You'll do that 3 times, and so you should be able to tell where your 3 paragraphs are, okay? And remember, a paragraph should be indented. The first line should be indented, and have its own line. Okay, so just remember that. So after you've done your keyword outline for all 3 pictures, then you will write your 3-paragraph story or report on the pictures, loosely following the outline, okay? Remember, you can move the details of your keyword outline around. Say something might come in, maybe it sounds better a little bit before or a little bit after another detail. You can move things around from your keyword outline. That's okay. Just remember to keep your central fact the first sentence, and your clincher is your last sentence, okay? And the title will repeat 1 to 3 keywords from the last sentence of the last paragraph, okay? Remember that, and I think most of you did that. Yes, I think most or all of you did exactly that. You remembered to use your last sentence of the last paragraph to create your title. So good work. Then later next week, you'll edit your work. Right now, we're just working on the process numbers 1 through 6, okay? So just remember that this is the process. Let me clear my drawings, okay? And I will have this process written out or typed out in the email that goes out with the lesson, okay? Okay, all right, so we're back. And so before we, so we've reviewed our rules, and now we're gonna introduce the new topic. Are y'all ready? Can you guess what the topic is going to be? Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of time, maybe 2 minutes to guess, 2 minutes or less, okay? Think of an animal. It is not a mammal. It does not have 4 legs. Can you guess? Let me see. What else can I tell you about this animal? You can see it indoors or outdoors. Some people keep them as pets, but most people don't want them as pets. Can you think? What do you guess? What's the new topic? What's the new animal we're going to cover? I don't know what other clue I could give you. One last clue, and I bet you all get it. It has 8 legs. I bet you got it. I bet you got it. If you guessed spiders, that is right. That's the next topic. I'm going to show you the first of 3 pictures on the screen, and these are the pictures that you will be writing from, okay? You will create a keyword outline for each of the 3 pictures, and we're going to work on one kind of together in class, okay? All right, looked like I froze for a second, but I think we got it. All right, so everyone should see this picture. What do we see first? Let's look at the picture and figure out what's the central fact. We have the sun. It's low on the horizon, coming in through the window, so it's probably morning, I would guess, or mid-morning, probably morning. The sunlight is coming in, so we are clearly on the inside of the house. I don't know, I guess this could be the outside. This could be a ledge on the outside. Could be a windowsill on the inside, or it could be a ledge on the outside of the window. But the sun is on the other side, so we must be inside. So yeah, the story is going to take place inside. Okay, and we do have some critters. We have some spiders here, and one of them is building a web. Okay, so the central fact we have here has something to do with spiders and sunshine and window. So if we were to write a keyword outline, and I'm going to do this in dark red. Let's see, I'm going to do this over here. Your Roman numeral 1, this is the central fact, okay? So I'm going to say sunshine, spiders, and window, okay? You can put these in any other order, or if you want to use different words like windowsill and spiders, or sun instead of sunshine, however you want to do it, just remember your Roman numeral 1 must be the central fact in the picture. Okay, it has to be. If you start telling the story with the first sentence, then you're not really being true to the rules. So you've got to remember the rules. The first sentence, this Roman numeral 1, has to be the central fact of the picture. Then you have, you can write your details and you can fill in the details, okay? You can say, maybe it's a lazy day building the web, okay? And maybe you could put in, a quick drawing like this, right? Like, I don't know, that's kind of a, that's a quick web, sort of, okay? So you could put that, and it disappeared because I'm typing on top of it. So it'll come back when I finish typing. The second detail, let's see, who's in it? We've got, well, we've already mentioned, we've got spiders. What else might be happening? Okay, ask yourself who, what, when. Let's say morning. Morning, I don't know what, morning time, plan, and not too busy. So I'm going to put not busy here. I'm going to click out of that, and I am going to write with my drawing tool, not. Okay, that kind of looks like a, let me try that again. Not. Okay, not busy. Okay, so it's a not busy day. And just remember that you should have 3 or 4 supporting details, and then your clincher. Okay, remember, you're not going to write the word clincher. Just remember, your clincher should reiterate, reflect or repeat your topic or your central fact for the picture. So you could say sunny, windowsill, and spiders, okay? And we will, if I click out of that, notice I didn't write in my keyword outline for number 3 and number 4. That was just to get you started. I just, you know, here we can do like dot, 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 dot. So you know that you will fill in you're not going to leave that blank, but you're going to fill in the keyword outline for that. Okay, so this is kind of what it might look like. Again, does your keyword outline have to look like mine? Absolutely not. It can be completely different. Okay, that's okay. The main rules are stick with your keyword outline rules, okay, up to 3 words per line. You could use a few symbols or numbers, and that's okay. But remember, your Roman numeral 1, the first sentence, must be the central fact from the picture. And then you've got your details you fill in, and then your clincher must reflect or repeat your central fact. Okay? So the first picture, I'm going to clear my drawings. Your first picture is this. Okay? The second picture, let me get that on the screen. Uh-oh. There we go. Haha. Don't know what happened there. All right, the second picture, it's nighttime, still on the same windowsill. Now it's nighttime outside. We've got a moon and some stars. And look at this. We've got music going and some little critters dancing. These could be the spiders. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, it looks like 4 pairs. This one looks like it might be some other kind of insect. 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of legs over here, because this one looks like it's got antenna on it. So looks like some kind of party, huh? Some kind of party or dance, you know, so maybe they're dancing the night away. Remember, for your keyword outline, your Roman numeral 2, because this is the second picture, Roman numeral 2 will be the central fact about the picture. Okay, so you could say something like nighttime dance critters, or evening music party, or spiders dance night, something like that, because it has to do with the central fact of the picture. After you write your Roman numeral 2, then you've got to fill in your details. Remember, ask who, what, when, where, why, and how. Fill in the details and then write your clincher, which should reflect your central fact again, okay? So this is your second picture. Don't worry, they're going to be attached to the email. I'm going to give you the third one. Your third one is, let's see, I think it's this one. It's taking a moment. Yes. So this is the third picture. It looks very similar to the first one, very similar. So we're back to morning time. The sun's coming through. We've got the spider building the web again, and the spiders look lazy and quiet and still. So remember, Roman numeral 3 should have your central fact, keyword outline for the central fact of the picture. Then fill in your details 1 through 4. And then your clincher should reflect or repeat the central fact again, okay? And remember, this is the third paragraph, the last paragraph. So the last sentence of this paragraph is where you will take your title from. So make sure you reflect 2 or 3 key words from the clincher from this paragraph into the title, okay? And then I have one more thing I want to share with you. We're at about 40 minutes almost, and there's one more thing I want to share with you. I found a poem that, let me see, is it right here? No. It's, Yes. So I found a poem that kind of goes along with this lesson. So I'm going to share this poem with you on the screen. You do not have to memorize it. It's not for a grade, but it might help you remember the question words and why we use them. Okay. So just real quick, I'm going to read this to you. It's, I keep 6 honest serving men. So let's talk about this, or let's read this. I keep 6 honest serving men. They taught me all I knew. Their names are what and why and when and how and where and who. I send them over land and sea. I send them east and west. But after they have worked for me, I give them all a rest. I let them rest from 9 till 5, for I am busy then, as well as breakfast, lunch, and tea, for they are hungry men. But different folk have different views. I know a person small who keeps 10 million serving men who get no rest at all. She sends them abroad on her own affairs. From the second she opens her eyes, 1 million hows, 2 million wheres, and 7 million whys. Now, this is a poem written by Rudyard Kipling. He's a famous author from a long time ago. He wrote poems and stories. Very entertaining stories, actually. And one of the stories or books I think that he wrote was The Elephant's Child, and it included this poem. So this poem talks about 6 honest serving men. Now, who do you think is talking about these 6 honest serving men? Who do you think is talking? Would you think it's a young person or an older person? Maybe an adult? Okay. I think it's maybe an adult because later he talks about, I know a person small, meaning probably a young person, maybe a child. She keeps 10 million serving men. And how many of you know that younger kids often have many questions? Maybe you have millions of questions, many, many questions. And the speaker in this poem is talking about, they have 6 honest serving men and they use them from time to time. But they know someone, a young, small person, who uses 10 million serving men, okay? And I want you to think more along the lines of these 10 million serving men. Ask lots of questions about how and why and where and when. And that's how you should come up with some details. Let your imagination really work and play to come up with ideas, okay? Remember to keep your ideas clean and within our, here, let me put myself back on the screen. Keep your ideas clean and reflecting the Christian values that we hold at Grace Christian Academy, okay? And I know that at home, your parents try to teach you these good things. And so keep your stories clean and good and positive, especially during these times. I want to encourage you, you know, there's a lot happening in the world today and not all of it is positive. So I want to encourage you to write about positive things, okay? Include good ideas, positive things, okay? Stay away from the negative and the ugly and the gory and violent and stuff. Stay away from those things and try to focus on the positive, good things, fun things, happy things, okay? So that's what I want to encourage you to do for your assignment on sunshine and spiders. You don't have to call it that, but that's the title of the lesson. You can title it whatever you want. in keeping with the rules, okay? And so you will write your keyword outline from these pictures and then tell it back from the keyword outline, tell your story back and test it to make sure it's a good solid outline. If it needs some work, just make your adjustments and then retell it again. If you can retell your story from your keyword outline, then it's a good one. And you can go on to the next step, which is writing your rough draft, okay? So that's basically the lesson today. I didn't want to go too long, but it looks I've gone over 40 minutes again. But that's okay. It's not too long. I know that you can pause it. That's one of the great things about these videos that you can watch at home. You can pause it and come back to it. You can rewind if you want to hear something again. Maybe if you want to look at something that I put on the screen, rewind and look at it again, maybe take some notes. That's always a good idea. But I wanted to also mention that this afternoon, today's Monday, so this afternoon at 1, we will meet again. Those who you must have your parents' permission. Please don't try to get on without. Get your parents' permission to log on to with the link to the Zoom live chat, okay? We will be able to see each other and talk a little bit. It's not going to be about the lesson. It's just going to be a short, fun time. We're going to keep it short. But I want to remind you that you could access that from any cell phone or tablet or laptop or computer, as long as you have an internet connection, okay? So if your mom or dad lets you borrow their phone to click on the link and get on, you're welcome to do that from a cell phone, a tablet, or laptop or computer. Just make sure you have their permission first. And remember, parents are welcome to join us too. So if your parents want to sit with you and do the live chat with us, that's perfectly fine. I encourage that as well. And we'll just have a few minutes at 1 o'clock this afternoon where we maybe talk a little bit about what we've been doing. Maybe we'll do a few little puzzles or something on the screen like we did last week. And maybe tell a couple of jokes, and then we'll be done, okay? And I'll make another video for next Monday, okay? And in that video, I will introduce the new vocabulary, and we'll talk about maybe improving your rough drafts. But your rough drafts are due on Thursday, this coming Thursday. Have your parents or an older sibling email them to me using the email address that will be in the iGrade email that goes out, okay? All right. Thank you for coming to class. Thank you for watching this video. I'm excited to see y'all again. I hope all of you stay safe, stay happy, and be helpful, okay? We'll see y'all next time. Shalom.